Hello, hello! It's Kaiserreich. So today we are going to be playing as the Sultan of Egypt, and our goal for this series is twofold. One, defeat the Ottomans. I feel like that kind of goes without saying. But two, defeat the French Republic, because Egypt can go to war with the Entente during the decolonization of the Maghreb. The AI doesn't really do it too much, but we will try to focus on that once we have to defeat the Ottomans. And then probably kill Persia, defeat Ethiopia. Like, we have a lot of other options we can do. I do think it's going to be a relatively short series, mostly because Egypt doesn't really get itself involved in the Villa Greek too much. Even, I guess, if we had war with the French Republic, we're kind of like by proxy allied with the International, but as soon as the French Republic dies, I think that'll be good for us. So, we'll take our Army and Navy experience. How many trains do we have? We've 8, we need 4, okay. All that looks good. Our slots, let's go with all of our basics. Get our research here. So right now we're 13. We are 319. Not terrible. Honestly, I thought we'd actually start off in a way worse position. We will go for 1 military factory in Alexandria. Seems okay. We can have up to 20 divisions. Right now we're at 10. Can I even afford to build more units? Probably, at least not right now. Let's get our army together. Get you here. Commander, let's assign you. Draw a front line against the Ottomans. I would like, of course, to get Cyrenaica on our side. We can't really guarantee that Cyrenaica will join us, but it would be nice if they did. Stability's at 59, war sports at 50, 250,000 recruited population. Overall, we're looking pretty good. We will turn these off for right now, but I will definitely do so in the future. And then, we are missing a little bit of steel. Honestly, I think importing 1 steel is completely okay, just because we need it to make weapons. Right now, we're making basic equipment, support equipment, artillery, and fighters. Well, we're not making any fighters in planes. We don't actually have any factories for that. And our units we have right now, they're basic 18 combat with. Nothing too crazy there. Cavalry, Camel Corps. Basically, like, kind of what you would expect. Do we have any territory that's being occupied? No, you're all technically core territory. Lovely. So, let's read our decision here. The Sultanate of Egypt. The history of modern Egypt conveniently begins in 1822, when Egypt joined the British sphere of influence, a situation that conflicted with Egypt's de jure position as part of the Ottoman Empire. In 1914, the protectorate was made official, and a title of head of state, which was changed from Pasha of Kiev in 1867, was against change to Sultan. This formally repudiated the Vasilis suzerainty of the Ottoman Sultan of Constantinople, who was back in the center of powers in the Villa Greek. Ep.1 was deposed by the British and replaced by a sultan of his uncle, Kesin Kamil. Upon his death in 1917, his only son, Prince Kamil ad-Din Husain, declined the succession. Husain Kamil's brother, Ahmed Fahd, ascended the throne as Fahd I. With the ratification of peace with honor, Egypt remained part of the now weakened British sphere. This would increase anger within the Egyptian populace that exploded in violence in 1925 during the collapse of the British Empire. This would become known as the Egyptian Revolution, where Fahd I proved his legitimacy by leading the people in the revolution. The revolution was largely nationalistic in nature, uniting Egypt's all social classes, faith, and occupation together to rid Egypt of the British once and for all. In the case of the revolution, the international coalition, primarily led by Britain and Germany, seized the Suez Canal, which Egypt was forced to accept in order to avoid an open conflict with the former Central Powers. Since the revolution, there's been a conflict between the liberals that seek to go further and make the monarchy a two-constitutional monarchy, and conservatives who wish to keep the status quo. Moreover, in 1936 arrives, the Sultanate's eyes go increasingly upon Jan Farouk, the heir of the throne who has been groomed for the throne. With the decline of the Ottoman Empire, members of all political parties began to draft plans for restoration of mighty Egypt, dreaming of an Ottoman-free Middle East. Okay. And we should hopefully be able to get that done. I know, we want to strike fast. If I remember correctly, as soon as the Kaiserreich War begins, the Ottomans should begin with a little bit of a debuff. That debuff will go away with enough time. Luckily, the focus they get, the national buff they get, to defeat the Kaiserreich, that usually triggers, I think, in like late 38, should not fire because we're a player. Typically, those are the rules. 10 to 20. I mean, I would like to get more units. Let's at least get 5 of them training, because we have just about 2 2 years, I think. When actually, I want to double check. Is it late 38? It is. Yeah, late 38. So you have about 2 years. What a political path for Egypt. We can go for basically constitutional monarchy, or we can go with more absolute monarchy. I don't think there's really. Do I have a focus I can take? No, not right now. Those are the main two. I don't think there's really too much else you can do. Oh, there's three. Status quo, absolute monarchy, or constitutional. You have to be some sort of monarchy as Egypt. The question of Egyptian identity. When the Egyptian Revolution of 1925 happened, question of identity emerged. What does it mean to be Egyptian? When was Egypt great? It was the first time in centuries that Egyptians were truly free and independent. So you're finally able to address these questions properly. And since then, two concepts of what it meant to be Egyptian formed. Looking back at the past with romanticism, although they each look at radically different periods of Egyptian history. The first camp was known as Pharaonism. They look to the pre-Islamic past, the days of the pharaohs, for a time when Egypt was truly great and powerful. They argue that Egypt is a Mediterranean civilization and stress the role in the Mediterranean Sea within Egyptian culture. They do not neglect the Nile, largely it aligns with liberal parties, though strictly speaking is not liberal, and even some of the Wataniya support it. It is by far the most influential form of identity in Egypt in 1936. The second cultural movement is the Islamist movement, which arose during the counter to the more mainstream Pharaohism. They believe the period of Egypt was most great was the era of the Fatimid Caliphate and the Ayyubid dynasty. Instead of the pharaohs, whom they decry as pagans and absolute tyrants, they look back at the time when Egypt was the center of the Islamic world, when multi-ethnic and tolerant Egypt was a dominant Islamic power. This cultural movement is more of a conservative counter to the more mainstream Pharaohism. It is largely tied to conservative movements, particularly the Ittihad party. It should be noted that both camps support a multi-ethnic Egypt. Both Pharaohists and Islamists believe that Egypt has always been a multi-ethnic state, and both concepts are largely romantic nationalists in nature and have impacted upon culture and the arts. I'm going to turn on my fan. I'm just going to let the game run in the background. There we go. So, the Germany run ended today. On the YouTube videos. So I am still looking for more challenge runs to do in the future. Again, if you're watching this on Twitch right now, I would like to hear them live. But again, if you're watching it on YouTube, if you want to post them in the comments, I definitely would read those as well. I have a few ideas. I see some, if you do National Populist, Baltic, Dutch, and try to conquer Germany. I've heard that's pretty difficult. I wouldn't mind trying that at some point. The legation cities trying to conquer China could also be a fun one, I think. I would like to hear more. As Shams founded. Today, Jewish journalist San Maliki has founded the newspaper As Shams to support the ideas of Egyptian nationalism. In particular, the newspaper attracts the attention of the calls for Egypt to take control of Jerusalem and the Jewish Holy Land. I think tomorrow, we're probably going to play more Kaiserreich tomorrow as well. And we're going to kind of do like the counter to the Germany playthrough. We're going to try playing as the Commune of France and basically fighting all of Europe. I think it's going to be like significantly harder because France is in a way worse position than Germany. But we will see. Black Monday hits Egypt. Today the economic crisis that has been gripping Germany has finally wrapped her tendrils around our proverbial necks. After a rather forceful departure from the British sphere, much of the former capital within our nation has come from Germany and our economic sphere. Now, with the situation, these foreign investors becoming increasingly unclear, our largely export-focused economy is beginning to crack under the pressure. The agriculture sector, particularly the cotton center, was hit rather hard. The people are begging the representatives within the royal diet, as well as the Sultan, to do anything they can to resolve the crisis. Okay, so we can begin Black Monday recovery. We get a bonus towards industry, and 10 political power, so kind of a horrible start, but what can you do? So Black Monday for us, it is a construction speed, factory output, production efficiency cap. Honestly, not that bad. Okay, Sultan Forak's begun his reforms. What do we need for the military stuff? Okay, we just need Forak to start the reforms. I don't remember when Fauda first dies. He should be dead by the time of the Kaiserreich War. But I don't remember the exact date of his death. Oh, it's because we haven't played Egypt. I think last time we played Egypt was late 2019. So I would say that, it's quite a while ago. Okay, aluminum. We don't really need aluminum. Actually, we're making support equipment. Are we even using support equipment for anything? No. Get rid of support equipment. We don't actually need it. Make artillery instead. That's way better for us. Getting some, I mean, aircraft would be nice. I don't think the Ottomans have that many planes. 78 to 170. We have 25. Again, Najd and Hassa. How many planes do you guys have? 0. Persia has 0. So we're the only ones with actual aircraft right now. We're the only ones with actual planes at the moment. And we only have 25, so we'd be easily beaten by the Ottomans. Like, I know Georgia can go to war with the Ottomans as well, but it's very, very rare they actually end up doing so. And once the Jamal Shamir War begins, we probably want to send volunteers immediately to Najd. Just having like one more division in Arabia honestly makes actually like a major difference. If we can get that done as soon as possible, I think that'd be great for us. Okay, follow you up with cotton, stability, or okay, you're literally the exact same thing, so I guess we'll secure holdings first. When do we actually start getting modifiers that get rid of Black Monday? Oh no, you just remove it all at once. Okay, you know, that works out decently enough. I'll take it. I do gotta start preparing for the 24-hour stream. I don't know exactly what we're going to play in it. Because I don't know exactly when it's going to be. But should be a good time. We'll probably end up playing like at least one Kaiserreich series. I think that kind of goes out saying. We might end up, if we're doing it like a 24-hour stream, we'll probably end up doing like at least minimum 2 full Hearts of Iron 4 series, I would imagine. They play the People States, we have. As far as I'm aware, the only European country we have never played as in Kaiserreich are, one, the Austrian substates. They don't have any focus trees, so we've never played as them. And Iceland. And Iceland, I want to play as them at some point, even though I'm sure the game is more of an observer status. I think that could be okay. The death of Sultan Fahd I. Today, tragic news hits the Sultanate. The Sultan Fahd has died. As the nation is mourning, the throne passed to 16-year-old Farak. While he has enjoyed the proper education of a Sultan to be, if you have concrete ideas of how he will govern. I don't know about you guys, but when I was 16, you know what? Never mind. That is completely a mustache a 16-year-old would have. Is there any path to the Pope that'd be a good challenge? Honestly, I don't really think so. Because, right, the Pope starts off as a vassal of Two Sicilies, and I don't think you can actually declare independence from that. Unless, you know, Two Sicilies loses, but if Two Sicily loses, you also lose. So I don't think it's a... You need all of these? Okay. I don't think the Papal State's going to be a great challenge. Because there's like, I feel like there's 2 challenge runs you can do in, you know, Hearts of Iron 4. So either you play as a tiny country, like, you know, let's say the legation cities, and try to do something great with it, i.e. conquer all of China and get the unique China tag. Or you kind of have like middle of the road challenges, like Afghanistan beating the Dominion of India. The AI never does it, but as a player you can do it. Or you do like, you know what we did before is Germany. Like, you play Germany and then you say everybody declare war on you. Not at the same time. I mean, I guess it technically was the same time. They're both in the International, but... So there's kind of like tiny country, big country where you're at war with everybody, or situations the AI never wins and then you try to win them as a player. That's really about it. I mean, I guess you could try like a Lash Orda and win against the Russians, but I feel like that'd be very hard to do. Central Asia beat Russia. But, like, there's not a, if I'm remembering correctly when it comes to Russia, there's not a forced peace. Like, if Russia doesn't kill you fast enough, there's not a peace event. Which is that's my main issue with doing, like, a war with them, or as them. Like, if there was an update, you know, to Central Asia, which I think there is going to be at some point. I know they added in the new borders, but at some point I think they're also supposed to get focus trees. I think when they get focus trees, we can try it. But until then, I think it's a little bit less less likely. Somebody got 3 to 11 troops of them. I mean, I'm sure you could do it. I don't think I'm good enough to do it, though. To be quite honest. Okay, give me a factory boost. Right, then, like, who else? What else could be interesting? I mean, there's Middle Africa where you try to get the country to collapse and then win the war. But that's... I mean, it doesn't really work too well, because I think that's mostly just knowing where the other countries spawn in, which is not that great of content. It's just, you just have to know where the guys rise up before you do it, so I don't think it's that interesting. Okay, we do have political power. Probably want to go straight to early mobilization. The COD subsidies are about to be done. Let's go with protect the industry, give us another infrastructure. Also, while this is still going, let me just see if I can change. I'll save that. Boom. Done. Okay, so. Really, like, who else could be interesting? What else would be an interesting little challenge to do? I'm not too sure. That's why I'm like, if you have suggestions, I would definitely love to hear them. Okay, 15 days on you. Volunteer only we don't care about. We really just need more mobilization. We have 3 factories here. We have a 10% factory debuff. That's mostly due to black money, which we're trying to get rid of. Yes, we need to do for rocks reforms, and then the rest of our focus tree does open up. You start in January of 38. So once 38 hits, we do want to probably rush down this as quickly as possible. Rebel against the Princess States that win. And I think that's one of the ones we can definitely try. That one would probably only be like an hour, I would have to imagine. Like, that's not a full series. But I think it'd be like a fun little one-off. I mean, even like, you could also even try to do like the Kumulkana and win in Xinjiang. Okay. Lota airplane flies across Egypt. Today, the young Avrix Latifia has made headlines in Egypt for winning the aviation competition between various aviators and were to fly between Alexandria and Cairo and over the pyramids. Her victory has been hailed as victory of women throughout Egypt, and the famous feminist Huda Sharari looking to help Alani get her own plane. As she was flying with the Egyptian Air, and several women are looking to see if they can start to fly. Well, thanks for the air experience. I appreciate it. I will go for the 37 improved machine tools. I think that's a good place for us to start. The black money is almost over, so we like not too long. Luckily, black money apparently doesn't affect Egypt too much. You get over with like 6 months. Yeah, so black money is over. Follow that by Farax reforms. Governor reform. I mean, you can just focus on getting all the reforms done ASAP. I mean, getting modernization as well. I'm assuming you would just give us. I mean, you're also pretty good. You're also pretty good. You guys can do a quick poll in chat. Okay. Okay. Quick poll. Let's just see what kind of monarchy we're going to have. Constitutional. The spelling's going to be a little bit fucked up because I'm not. Can I spell constitutional correctly? Like, it's actually on the screen right now. No, like, well 5 minutes, because we have a lot of time for this. Okay, so there's the Jamal Shamir War. I do think we want to at least immediately send a volunteer over. I don't think they have an airport to begin with. We can send 1 division. Let's send over a camel division. Who's ever got the best attack? We'll send you and air divisions go. You don't have an airport, right? Like, that's... Yeah, that's why we can't really send any planes. Fair enough. And we can deploy units. Let's go 2 rows on this. Nothing more complicated than that. Okay, black money's over. We'd love to see it. Yeah, all of you just deploy in a blue army. Okay, I mean, Jamal Shamir, they might actually not even need our help to win this war. Because Jamal Shamir starts with 2 divisions here. They're going to get wiped out pretty quickly. You just have like 1 troop defending your capital and that's it. My volunteers might not even get there in time for the... Okay, there you are. Make your way over. Because again, we do want Nej to win. Jamal Shamir, of course, they are the Arabian faction. Okay, never mind. We didn't get to do anything. But, you know, moral support. Jamal Shamir is the one that can align themselves with the Ottoman Empire. And, of course, having the Ottomans have more allies. Bad? They're just not great. The West Indies Union might be interesting. I mean, we'll probably play as the West Indies Union at some point. Who do we want to win the election? Well, who's winning right now in the Constitutional's winning? So we'll go with the Liberal Constitutional Party. The full vote isn't in yet, but if you're in Twitch chat, you can still vote for who which way Egypt's going to go in the future. Because I know we played as West Indies, like the Entente aligned version. I would definitely not mind doing like a Syndicalist aligned version as well. There's just also like there's a lot of countries that have multiple paths that we can still do in the future. Sultan begins singing for Radio Cairo. Today, famous singer Sultan begins singing for Radio Cairo. This will help boost the ratings of Radio Cairo. People begin to tune in to listen to her singing. Boom, 1% stability. Like, I'm trying to think, like, what other countries do we need to play still? It's been a long time since we played as Ukraine. We could try playing them again. South Africa, but either going pro-Entente or pro-Reichspakt we have not done before. What else have we not done? It could be, we haven't done Socialist Mexico before. That's an option for us as well. Okay, let's get our reforms here. Chinese federalism? We have not played as the federalists in China. Definitely is one of the countries that we do. I do want to play them at some point. I think, yeah, like the federal government of China is probably like the last major